from our broadcasting house here on Wesley Street in Sierra Leone's capital, Freetown. This is Primetime News on AYV TV and radio. You're watching us on channel 33 and listening to us on frequency modulation 101.7. I am Zulayatu Hamid. Let's start with tonight's headlines. Now, women in mining and extractive Sierra Leone launches impact analysis report on the freedom of expression and civic engagement. Also on Primetime News, Director of External Relations, PPRC, and Publicity Secretary, APC, speaks on PPRC's order for return in lower-level elections. And IGR launches the development scorecard tracking 100 priority targets in Sierra Leone's national development. These and more are lined up in this edition of Primetime News. Now, first on the news, women in mining and extractive Sierra Leone with support from Civicus, World Alliance for Citizens Participation has officially launched a systematic impact analysis report examining the real-life challenges, legal implications, and alleged rights violations faced by civil society organizations, journalists, and citizens under Sierra Leone Cybersecurity and Crime Act of 2021. My colleague Issa Kamara reports.
The event brought together representatives from government institutions, civil society organizations, media houses, and community groups from across Sierra Leone's 4 regions to discuss concerns surrounding the implementation of the Cybersecurity and Crime Act 2021. Organizers say the analysis examines the social, legal, and human rights implementations of the legislation, particularly on journalists, activists, and ordinary citizens who rely on digital platforms to communicate and participate in public discourse.
So this discussion, this is the first phase of the project, and we are going to have a series of discussions around the civic space in Sierra Leone with reference to the cybersecurity law, and now it's limiting our activities, freedom of speech, freedom of association.
During the launch, a short documentary was screened for participants, featuring ordinary citizens, authorities from various institutions, and civil society actors, reflecting on the impact of Sierra Leone's Cybersecurity and Cybercrime Act 2021. Participants at the engagement commended the organizers for the initiative, emphasizing the significance of the documentary in contributing to ongoing discussions around the review of the Act.
The Cybersecurity and Crime Act 2021 was designed to address a real and growing threat in the digital space of Sierra Leone.
The 2021 Cybersecurity Crime Act, and there are a lot of issues around it, even though we are not oblivious of the fact that people are misusing the internet space, but also their genuine concern as was presented in the documentary.
Firstly, I would like to say thank you to women for putting this documentary together. I would say it's really timely because the review of the Cybersecurity and Crime Act is something that is in the pipeline. It has already gained cabinet approval. This will help in terms of the review procedure.
Over the years, reports by the Media Reform Coordinating Group MRCG have continued to reveal persistent challenges confronting journalists and media practitioners in Sierra Leone, particularly in the areas of freedom of expression, press freedom, access to information, and digital rights. However, concerns remain over the role of the Sierra Leone Association of Journalists in addressing these challenges affecting media freedom in the country. Representing the association, Financial Secretary Mohamed Kone says,
"We in SLAJ have key concerns, and these are some of the concerns. Clarity and proportionality. Offenses and penalties must be clearly defined to prevent arbitrary interpretation and application. Safeguards and oversight. Independent oversight of surveillance and data access powers is essential to prevent abuse."
The events also serve as a platform to strengthen collective advocacy aimed at promoting digital freedom and responsible online engagement in Sierra Leone. Issa Bangura, AYV News, Freetown.
Now, Director of External Relations PPRC, Lucini Momo, has said the order of a rerun of the lower level election in some parts of the country was in tandem with the constitution of the APC and the rules of the APC Party 2022. He noted that the election had some disruptions but also was peaceful. Also speaking in the party's reaction, the Publicity Secretary of the APC Party, CDI at Tunis, notes that the party takes serious concerns and continues to review their democratic process when necessary.
These reruns are done in tandem with the constitution of the APC of 2022 and the rules and regulations of the All People's Congress 2022. And from our observation, I was the team lead for the Western area. We deployed staff across the country. And from the report we had is that the elections went on peacefully to a great extent. There were disruptions and there were confrontation between some members and the police, wherein I saw physical confrontation between members, physical confrontation between members of the party and also the police. But in a whole, the process was relatively peaceful, even though there are these, pockets, isolated incidents. Yes, those isolated incidents of violence or confrontation.
A lot of the issues that we are uncovering now are not strange. Some are expected, some are not. But in the process, we continue to, strengthen our democratic processes. We review our democratic processes, and then we identify areas wherein amendments probably need to be made in the future. But we don't think in any way that this will undermine or this only shows weaknesses within the processes themselves.
Now, so
the way flag bearers are elected, I don't think it makes sense for anyone to claim victory at this stage of a democratic process, because we have not even started putting together delegates yet. That process starts from the constituency level, which is where we start now compiling the delegates. So for anyone to claim at this stage that they won, I think, that must be, propaganda just to show strength or something, but it is not realistic.
Mm-hmm.
Professor Joe A.D. Ali has officially launched Saloon Development Scorecard, SDSC, done by the Institute for Governance Reform. According to the IGR, the Development Scorecard tracks progress on 100 priority targets in Sierra Leone's National Development Plan, ranging from 2024 to 2030, which research were done and evidence is gathered on progress made and informing the public on credible information on its service delivery. A reporter, George Batilo Powell, tells us more.
And therefore declare the Saloon Development Score officially launched.
That was the official launch of the Saloon Development Scorecard. According to the Institute for Governance Reform, IGR, the scorecard tracks progress on 100 priority targets outlined in Sierra Leone's National Development Plan for 2024 to 2030. Out of the 100 targets, 5 have been achieved, 26 have made significant progress, 36 have recorded minimal progress, 20 have shown no progress, while 13 were not rated. The executive director of IGR explained further.
The scorecard aims to measure and improve public services, ensuring citizens experience governance directly. The scorecard will monitor progress, identify challenges, and foster evidence-based policy decisions, aiming to enhance public trust and development outcomes.
So we want to say we can draw attention of the public.
Dr. Emmanuel Gaima responded to the scorecard on behalf of the government, highlighting key areas that will be addressed moving forward.
I want to appreciate that this is a strong manifestation by IGR that there can be complementary efforts between one government intense movement as well as what government does.
IGR is encouraging all Sierra Leoneans to use the platform to monitor government performance and ask questions about the progress being made. George Batilu Powell, AYV News, Freetown.
Now, as Sierra Leone continues efforts to strengthen democratic governance and electoral transparency, the National Elections Watch (NEW) has elected seasoned civic activist Charles Kef Kobai as its new chairperson. Now, with more than 30 years of experience in governance, civic engagement, and election observation, stakeholders believe his leadership will further enhance the organization's role in promoting credible democratic processes in the country.
I may be new in the position as chairperson, but I'm not new in NEW. And I've been in NEW for quite a very long period of time. And I'll be building up on what we together have built under the leadership of Madam Marcella Sambasise. Okay. Though I'll have my own leadership style of doing things, different from hers. But we have all together built an architecture that will stand the test of time in terms of giving quality electoral observation to elections processes. And we have already begun having conversations, myself, my secretarial staff, and part of the strategic management committee, because we will soon start developing our strategy as to how to approach the elections, the 2028 elections. Although the document that will inform that process, we'll be obtaining that from the Electoral Commission, because this is how we have operated in the past. For me, my desire is to see all that third-party politics happening in our country, so that we teach the two giant political parties that no, because we'll have a better landscape if SLPP and APC begin to see 2-3 political parties, you know, towing them from their backs, and then they begin to sit up. Sometimes they are not giving us the kind of governance we desire, because they are now cozy. They know if it's not us, it will be the main opposition. If it's not the main opposition, it will be us.
Addressing unemployment and strengthening the civil service workforce, the Ministry of Employment, Labour and Social Security has recruited 120 junior staff members. Now, the newly employed workers had undergone a 2-day orientation and training program designed to prepare them for their roles within the ministry. Ibrahim Ramadan Jallo reports.
As unemployment continues to challenge many young people due to limited job opportunities, the Ministry of Employment, Labour and Social Security has taken a significant step by recruiting 120 junior staff members into the civil service.
Of an employee. If one continues to work without any rest, they can easily break.
Following the recruitment exercise, the ministry organized a 2-day orientation and training program for the newly employed staffs.
The Ministry of Labour and Social Security have recruited about 120 junior staff. This staff entails the Labour and Employment Inspectors and the Occupational Health and Safety Inspectors. It has taken the ministry about almost 10 years ago. We have not recruited staff. The last staff that we recruited was done around 2014. And now we have gone ahead to recruit a very large number of workers, about 120 of them. So we are here at Sarah Palm Hotel to do an induction training for them.
The training aims to equip the new employees with the necessary knowledge and skills to effectively carry out their duties, while also introducing them to the ethics and expectations of the civil service.
During your inspection, you notice that some fire extinguishers are expired.
Speaking during the training, Francis and Rebecca highlighted the importance of the program and expressed appreciation to the ministry for this opportunity.
First of all, I want to thank God for giving us the opportunity to become part of this family, the civil servants. It's an opportunity to exhibit whatever you've learned practically to your fellow country people. And these 2 days training has helped me and probably empowered me, learned few things that will help me in my journey.
Actually, this training is an eye-opener of what I'm going to meet at the workplace. So this gives me a clue, a guide on my roles and responsibilities as a labor and employment inspector.
For AYV News, Ibrahim Ramadanjalo reporting.
Sierra Leone Chamber for Agribusiness Development, a private sector entity, has held a meeting with the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security and Forestry. Now, the discussion was centered on ways to improve access to finance for farmers. Deputy Minister of Agriculture, Sir Hema, says SLICAD has been the intermediary between the farmers and the Ministry of Agriculture in promoting agribusiness, private sector investment, and agro-industrialization in the agricultural sector. Ero Jallo tells us more.
The Sierra Leone Chamber for Agribusiness Development, SLICAD, is a forum of agribusiness operators, companies, and industries with interest in promoting agribusiness, private sector investment, and agro-industrialization in the agricultural sector. The Chamber represents the voice of the agribusinesses with total commitments to playing a leadership role towards propelling Sierra Leone's economy to higher heights. Reaffirming their commitment, Ahmed Nano, Executive Secretary, gives a brief background on the roles, mission, and vision of SLICAD. He further notes the essence of the engagement.
And our primary motive is you. How can we transform? How can we support you guys to enable the transformation, the food transformation, the economic transformation, the industrialization of Sierra Leone, so that we empower the economy of Sierra Leone? In that regard, we have done a lot. I mean, within a limited, resources. I mean, we have been able to. This forum is really for us to connect. Not only connect, but also tell us what you are doing and how you, and also for you to connect with the government and even donors. I mean, it's very good, and also for us to update you what is available and what programs we have in the next coming month. Adding to this, there were farmers who raised some challenges they are faced with in providing sufficient food while boosting His Excellency agenda and Sierra Leone's economy.
Continue, we have to be inclusive. I feel like in business, and this is my final point, politics should be out of building businesses. Okay? We not get for the SLPP for let we survive. We some of we went on SLPP, APC, we are in the kind of we fight for what we believe is ours. But not everybody has that. So if government says this is a national program, government must ensure that it is inclusive.
Deputy Minister of Agriculture asserts the mandate of His Excellency is key in the Ministry of Agriculture. Acknowledging private sectors like SLICAD, he asserts will remain to be intermediary between the farmers and the ministry in eradicating hunger and improving food security.
We in the ministry room will not be able to achieve this goal. It is only going to be with the support of the private sectors. So that's why whatever way we have to go, whatever way you ask or to go, or whatever plan you take us to leave you be, we assure you that we will give our utmost attention to you.
The sector serves as a link between established agric businesses, the emerging sector, and the government at various levels, while offering mobilization and facilitating strategies involving Sierra Leone's agric businesses and agro-industry value chains. Yero Jallo, AYV News, Freetown.
Conversation around women's reproductive and menstrual health are still considered sensitive in many communities, leaving many girls and women without the right information about their bodies and menstrual hygiene. Now, to help bridge the gap, Mariam's Ways Foundation Environment hosted a Women's Reproductive and Menstrual Health Conference aimed at educating young women and encouraging open discussion on menstruation and hygiene practices. Our reporter Edima Conte has more on the story.
Menstruation remains a topic many girls and women are still uncomfortable discussing openly, despite it being a natural part of life. For years, silence, stigma, and misinformation surrounding menstrual health have continued to affect young women, especially in communities where reproductive health education is limited. It is against this backdrop that the Mariam's Ways Foundation organized a Women's Reproductive and Menstrual Health Conference to create awareness and promote healthy menstrual hygiene practices among women and girls.
Just with menstrual hygiene, with the female body in general, there are so many myths around them, and these are things that have existed over the years. So it's actually a very difficult task for us to be able to educate people in the right way, because some of these myths are close to reality. I mean, sometimes you think it's true, but then you don't even get to understand it from the medical perspective unless you are actually open to learning, or you have to experience them for yourself. So we're basically trying to create a safe space where people learn the right way and learn about their bodies in general.
The conference also featured health discussions focused on helping women better understand their bodies, menstrual cycles, and proper hygiene practices. One of the guest speakers at the event emphasized the importance of women paying attention to their health and encouraged young girls to not feel ashamed discussing menstrual issues.
So firstly, I want us to always remember that you should not be ashamed that you're a woman and you are seeing your period. This is not something we should be ashamed of. And so for you to understand about feminine and menstrual hygiene, firstly, you need to understand your body, and then you should always remember to observe your cleanliness. So firstly, remember that you should always be changing your pads on a regular basis. 4 to 5 hours is enough for you to put on your pads and then you change. Always remember to always wear clean panties and not to wear soaked panties. For you to also eat healthy. That is very, very important during your period, for you to eat healthy. Make sure you eat whole food. Whole foods, I mean, you need to eat your vegetables, you need to eat your beans, you need to eat your eggs, the fat and oil, and also remember that your oils should not be on kind of maximalist, kind of minimalist form. And always remember that you should avoid junk food during your period.
Participants at the conference described the engagement as timely and informative, noting that many young women still lack access to accurate menstrual health information.
It is good to know that it's not just you in the space. There are many other people facing the same stigma as you are, the same trauma, and most importantly, we're looking forward to a way of solving things like this as a group, collectively, as women. And then we're also bringing men on board to also break the stigma further, because it is important to know that despite this is a woman issue, it is also a human issue.
Organizers say initiatives like these are important in breaking the silence around menstruation and empowering young women with the knowledge needed to manage their health confidently and safely. Edima Conte, AYV News, Freetown.
This is Primetime News on AYV Television and Radio. Stay tuned for more stories after the break.
I run a small logistics company. Every cent counts. I didn't think I needed a fuel card until I got the Cornex fuel card. Now, I track exactly how much fuel my fleet uses, in real time. And when my wife or kids need fuel, no cash, no stress. It's safe, accepted nationwide, and I control how much goes on each card. At the end of the month, I see the savings, real savings. Cornex fuel card. I didn't know I needed it. Now, I can't run my business or family without it. Fuel smart. Live smart. Visit any Cornex filling station to sign off, or any Cornex office to get your card.
Welcome back. I am Zulayatu Hamid and this is AYV's Primetime News. Thank you for joining us tonight. Let's take more stories. Now, Kabbalah town communities to wait for the long-promised supply of electricity from the government of Sierra Leone as fresh concerns emerge over the safety and sustainability of the stalled project. Now, these developments have further deepened public frustration as the town remains without reliable electricity despite repeated government assurances over the years. A regional correspondent, Ibrahim Koma, sent us this report from Kabbalah.
Kabbalah has long been described by its residents as one of the darkest towns due to the absence of stable power supply. Access to electricity has been one of the major demands of the people, who believe that reliable power is essential for economic growth, education, healthcare, and security. Residents agree over this situation.
Anyway, we feel somehow disappointed because the last time when the minister came, the entourage there, they promised in 18 months' time, they say the lights will come into existence. But that's it don't pass almost how many years now. But we know say Alhamdulillah, this government, I listen in government, and they make it, but I know say light business is not easy. But we pray, let God make this come into light. Because light is very expensive, but I think we don't be the crowd for a very long time. From the previous government, the light won't be the crowd of the people in this community. And up to this government, and the past government promise we, this map also, they may promise. But Alhamdulillah, there we see progress small because once the pole don't come, some transformer they don't come, and they don't pass some of the cable them.
This delay answer, so they go through a lot because right now the business what they do, it need to go without electricity, they go without lights. So right now they go through a lot. So they strain for business.
And we really strain like business here because if we get light in Kabbalah, it will be really fine, you know. Okay, we'll get investor there with the different side and we can't do business naya all that thing there. But we like not in naya. When they get investor there, what people in the car can't do business naya. So we really strain. We really want for the light in Kabbalah.
Minister of Energy Cyril Arnold Grant says electricity supply in Sierra Leone will improve under the government's sustainability plan for the power sector.
No, I don't think it's intentional. I think it's the nature of the network. What has happened over the last 4 or 5 years, the McKinney demand, electricity is like that. The more you give electricity, the more the demand grows. Now, what we're looking at is really now to come in and privatize EDSA through a concession to make it even much more efficient, and that's what we're headed for.
As Kabbalah remains in darkness, many citizens hope that decisive action will soon take in to turn long-standing promise into reality. Ibrahim Sudais Kuruma, AYV Primetime News, Kabbalah, Northern Province.
And now for entertainment, AYV Films is once set again to captivate viewers with another emotional and thought-provoking movie titled The Measure of a Man. Now, the film explores powerful themes of love, ambition, sacrifice, and the difficult choices that ultimately define who we become. Now featuring a blend of talented actors from Sierra Leone and Nigeria, the production promises intense drama, deep emotion, and unforgettable performances. Here is more in this report by our entertainment reporter, Hannah Yangsin.
The Measure of a Man, an AYV Films production, is a gripping and emotional story centered on love, ambition, sacrifice, and the choices that shape human destiny. As relationships grow more complicated and tensions rise, every decision carries consequences that could change lives forever.
Because the way a man handles a situation in the presence of the woman he wants to end up with helps to boost her confidence and gives her room to study his emotional capabilities.
The film shines a spotlight on Housemaid Salon Season 4 winner Suad Baidon and also features Peter Komba alongside several other talented actors from Sierra Leone and Nigeria.
I don't want to ever see Timmy in this house. I need to rest. I need to freshen up. Big point of correction. I've never dated two men at the same time.
The movie delivers a compelling blend of drama, emotion, and powerful storytelling. The film is set to be officially launched on Saturday, 30th of May 2026 at AYV Media Empire.
Are you okay? They love to travel around the world, they love gifts, and they love to have fun.
Perfect match. You can take it from your color, your hair, he's fair. A proper sharp Gen Z for you.
With its strong cast, emotional depth, and captivating storyline, The Measure of a Man is expected to leave a lasting impression on audiences while further showcasing the growth and potential of Sierra Leone's film industry.
When your heart finds love with someone, you do not need any seer to tell you.
Anna Yangsin, AYV News, Freetown.
Well, stay glued to your TV set for that one. And in sports, the Sierra Leone Football Association, through its technical department, has announced 2 dates for international football friendlies against Liberia next month. Now, Leone Stars will engage Lone Star of Liberia on the 6th of June 2026 at the Southern Arena in Bo City, Sierra Leone, and on the 9th June this year in Monrovia, Liberia. According to the Football Association, these two matches will form part of Leone Stars' preparations ahead of their upcoming international competitions as the team continues to build momentum and strengthen squad cohesion. However, the SLFA administration is yet to announce their new head coach that should be in charge of Leone Stars following Mohamed Kalon's controversial dismissal from the job. And that's all for Primetime News for tonight. For more stories, visit our website at www.ayvnews.com. If you have any comments on the news, please send us an email to info@ayvnews.com. I am Zulayatu Hamid. Many thanks for watching and listening. Good night.
You're watching AYV Television.